Hello, my friends. If you saw my video number 65, you may recall that I wasn't happy with the painting. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it, scrape it, or what. Well, I wish I had kept it because it turned out to be very popular. I think it's my most viewed video. But unfortunately, I messed with it after I turned off the camera. I swiped, I tilted, I balloon smashed. I ruined it, in other words. So this is what I ended up with. So I decided I was going to embellish it. I started doing that, then I thought, well, that might make a nice video. So my plan is to show you some simple ideas for simple flowers, leaves, and filler flowers. And I'm just going to demonstrate on this black poster board. And then I'll turn off the camera, come back and do this on my own time. I like to take my time with it. And then I'll bring you back and show you the final piece and we can talk about it a bit. So that's the plan, and let's begin. Now, if you've watched any of my videos on embellishing, I love to use this little brush. It's called a filbert. You can see how it's rounded at the end instead of squared off like this flat brush. So filberts make great flowers. They practically paint themselves. So let me demonstrate for you. Now I've just got some titanium white here and I've mixed a little bit of gel medium in there just to make the it blends better and it will stay workable a little longer. So I'm just putting a little bit of paint on filbert here, and I'm going to slide that over a little bit. And one little easy flower you can do is just short little petals. You just press and twist. So press and twist. Press and twist. It's easiest if you move your surface around once you find what's comfortable for you. I might be getting out of range though. Anyway, that is the best way to do it. Move your surface around, but I'm afraid I'll get out of camera view. So I'll paint kind of awkwardly, press and twist. And that's just a very simple little flower. Now you can elongate the petals, make kind of a daisy looking one. Press and twist, and I'm making it longer petals, always just working your way to the center of the flower. Another petal you can do with a filbert brush is starting on the chisel edge. That would be this sharp edge there. I've flattened it down really well. Let me check to make sure you can, yes, you can see the palette here. Start on the chisel edge and then flatten it down and bring it back up to the chisel edge. That gives you a really delicate flower petal. And so on. A way to make the center of your flower is to just dip the end of your brush into the paint and just dot in some center, like so. Easy peasy. The filbert can make some really beautiful flowers, detailed ones as well. I'm going to show you an iris, kind of, that's just made with this brush. Now, irises have, I did a video on iris. Did I mention that? Yeah, and so I explained that irises basically are 3 petals up and 3 petals hanging down. So here's the upper petals. My dog is snoring underneath here. Sorry, I probably mention my dog every video, but she's always at my feet. And then the bottom petals are usually longer, I think. I'm not really a gardener, but I do like painting flowers. I don't know that much about them. And then those two more on either side. And you can dress them up a little bit. You could, add to it. Make them wavy. Maybe bring this down a little more. That looks a little more realistic. Anyway, there you go. That's an iris. Supposed to be. Okay, now a flat brush. Move to the flat brush. That will give you can get very similar look with a flat brush. And a bit about brushes, buy the best you can afford. It's like anything, you get what you pay for, and you will have better success if you use a better quality brush than the cheapest little craft brush you can find. All right, so you can get a similar look like this by flattening and twist, flat and twist it. And of course, I'm left-handed, so if you're going to, that was a bad one there. I didn't twist it, but I'm working upside down there. That was not comfortable. Flatten and twist. But it looks like what is that? An impatient, I think it is. Anyway, you can also get the long daisy type petals. The flat brush. This is probably easier to do this one with a flat brush because you can get a great chisel edge. This one works well with the filbert because of the round edges. I won't bother with that one, although you could do it. Now, another one you can do with the flat brush is just to side load your brush. I fully loaded the brush to make all of these. But now I'm going to just side load, which means I'm just going to put half of the brush into paint. So see, I only have paint on half of the brush. Kind of work it into the brushes on your palette. And this is what I did on that flower that I started. Starting with the loaded side on the outer edge. You're just going to place it down and make your petal shape. I didn't work it into the brush, into the, into the brush very well there. Let's try that again. Although this poster board is not the most ideal surface to be painting on. It sucks up the water. You get the idea. Then there's always a kind of a fantasy flower, which is, you can kind of do a kind of heart shape and just very free form. My dog makes me laugh. And maybe overlap where they meet with another layer of petals. And dot in your center. If you want to get really frou-frou with it, you you can take a liner brush and add some lines around it to just to make it very fanciful. You know, something like that. You could add little lines. I mean, the possibilities are endless. It's just fun to play with your brushes and find out what they can do. Now, let's see. Everybody loves roses. Now, they're not easy. They take a lot of practice. But I will try to do a very simple one here. I did a video on a rose. And I don't know what number it was, but you might enjoy watching that. And of course, if you do, I'm just working with white here just to show you. Mainly I want you to be able to see the strokes, and I felt the white on the black would show up best. But of course, you know, color is great fun to do. Okay, I'm going to, again, kind of side load the brush. Well, I didn't do a very good job of side loading it, but there's more on one side than the other. I'll try it. I'm going to just fluff in some back petals. A couple layers of back petals. Jiggle in a little bowl of the rose. Add some outer petals. Bring them into the bottom of the bowl there. And then maybe just some slivers of petals that are, you know, looking to kind of fill up this area. I could use another petal in there, I guess. Yeah, that's not great, but on its own, but if you add some little leaves to it, it starts coming to life a little more. And this one, while we're on leaves, I think we'll move to leaves next. This can easily become a leaf by just adding a stem line to it. Probably with a liner brush would be best. But while I have the flat in my hand, let me show you some leaves that you can do with flat brush. I'm going to run out of room here. I better condense. Love to just make long, skinny leaves, like tulip leaves. Several plants have this type of leaf. It's fun to crisscross them. It's fun to bend them. Flat, and then you go to the chisel edge and then flatten it down again. And that gives you, it's a real dimension. That's fun. Let's see. Here's another fun leaf, just to smash it down. Smash, twist, and, oh, that was not a good one. Well, smash, twist, and run it through again. Smash, twist, run it through. One more. It's just a cute little leaf. All right. A variation of that one. I'll do a stem line. Let's see. A variation of if I turn it this way, Let's see if I'm still in the camera. Yes. You know, you have to make it comfortable for yourself. Very similar to that. Just smash it down. Smash and lift. Smash and lift. Don't touch this center line on these outer petals. And actually I did that one backwards. I'm doing them all backwards. No, I just didn't do a good job at it, that's all. Well, anyway, get a little larger as you work your way down. Yeah, this should be going the other way. Smash and lift. That's better. I didn't practice what I was going to do. Smash and lift. Okay, then you will take your liner brush and attach these leaves to your main stem. That one's a little too close. And these are like growing backwards. You can see, I mean, it's kind of a little folk art. That one's okay. But these are ridiculous. They're going the wrong way. Anyway. And you could even make little leaves with liner brush. They wouldn't necessarily go on the same stem, but I'm just showing you what can be done with the various brushes. Okay, so that's leaves. Oh, one more. Then we need some big leaves with the flat brush. Loading it all up. My paint is kind of watery. That's the problem. I'll go into the creamier part of the pile there. You know, a large leaf would be smash it down and twist to a point. And then repeat on the other side. You could make a curvy one. Don't do what I just did. Okay. I'm going to turn this over like this, and now do some filler flowers. They're very fun. So again, I'm going to start with that's why my puddle got watery. I thinned down to make a stem line. Let's see. I'll start with a couple of stem lines. So I have this little round brush. This is a variation of, this is a round brush, you can tell. This is the same thing, it's just a very small version of it. And I'm just going to make some tiny little leaves with this, just by smashing it down. Getting larger as you work your way down. And this makes a really cute filler. Using the same little brush, you can make some little tiny flower petals. You don't even need to worry about a center on these. And just a little cluster of these will fill up an area nicely. And don't make them all whole, make some of them just partial, tucked behind. Peeking out. Anyway, you get the idea. Nothing to it. What else? You can use your filbert and just use the tip of it and tap in. It could be the center of a flower. It can be a little puffy flower on its own. This filbert is just the best brush in the world. And then, let's see. Oh, I know. Filbert. Again. This is very fun. I love Lily of the Valley. Loved smelling them when I was a kid in Illinois. I just loved to lay on my stomach and smell those flowers. So it takes me back. You just press down and lift. And they make these little tiny umbrella shape blossoms. Oops, that one was a little big. And then the thing with lilies of the valley, I have those spaced out kind of too well. You want to, clump some together. But anyway, for the purpose of illustration, it's okay. Then they have these wonderful little loopy stems. And that's how you can really identify what this flower is, I think. Sweet. Okay, and then lastly, if you watch some of my videos on ring and ribbon pours, I love lines. And I love adding lines to my paintings, my embellishments, because lines will help carry the viewer's eye through your painting. And you can guide them anywhere you want with lines. So a liner brush, just graceful lines. These take practice too. It's not something that comes naturally. I mean, I practiced a lot before I get graceful at them. Anyway, lines. So, there you have it. Some ideas for embellishing. Oh, you know what would be fun? If I show you one more thing. Let me pause for a second. Okay, I'm back. I thought it would be fun to show you, to add some color to this. I think I'm just going to use white on my painting there, but I want you to see how fun it is, of course, with color when you double load your brush. So I'm going to load it into this magenta. Not even load it, I just added some to the tip of the paintbrush. Bring you in closer. I hope that works. So I've put paint on my paintbrush, color, and then I'm going to just pop it in the white. So now I've got two colors on my paintbrush, magenta and white. And without doing any blending on the palette, I'm just going to go right over this and get a variegated look, I hope. Smash it down. Yeah. White, magenta, pop it in the white. I may not have had enough white there. And smash it down. That one's better. When you do this, you have to reload nearly every time. But you can see how fun it is to double load your brush. And you can get some really interesting looks with a single stroke. And this gel medium will actually add texture to your painting, which some may like. Anyway, I just want to show you that it's not hard to get an interesting variegated blended look with a single stroke. Okay, my friends, I'm going to stop there and move on to my canvas, and when I'm done I'll come back and show you what I came up with. See you in a bit. Okay, my friends, I'm back. Well, this is what I came up with. It's a good thing I didn't record it because it took me a couple hours of puttering and playing with it. It's okay. I think it's certainly an improvement over what it was. I'm thinking of putting a white frame around it. Either white or black. Completely changes the look of it. Black and white, but I think I prefer the white. I don't know. Anyway, let me take you down for a closer look. I did a bunch of these kind of flowers and a lot of those little filler flowers. That's what took so long. And then I felt this bottom area was too busy, so I went over some of the cell areas and just followed the lines and with white. And over here, just to kind of tie the top together with the bottom. I'm not sure if I'm bothered by the negative space, the black there after all the busyness, but I don't think I am. I think it's a place for you to rest your eye after you're looking at everything else. And it's rather plain down here, so it's balanced, I'm telling myself anyway. So there you have it. I hope the first half of this was helpful to you and that you'll experiment with some simple embellishing, getting some brushes and just learning to play with them and find out just what they can do. Okay, my friends, until next time, bye-bye.